I think I'll start off by doing a quick how we benefited through the OIP. So essentially, Groundup.AI, we start off really as an AI company. We believe that AI is a good technology. Then enterprises can be really much better through the use of AI. Yeah. Then eventually, through multiple rounds of this OIP, we found our sweet spot, lah. You see, so yeah, we rather than go do like generic services. So we build our product, we build our platform for like the industry. Yeah, so actually OIP help us to really focus on like the technologies that we want to use. Yeah, through the help of the clients also. Yeah, so that's how we started. Yeah. Okay, so the reason why we took part in OIP, I mean from a participant perspective, right? Firstly, we were thinking that anyway we needed to find clients, right? Yeah, or rather more specifically, not just clients, but we were trying to go a bit deeper and understand the problems that clients face. Yeah, so OIP is a good opportunity because the moment you log in, right, there's already problem statements. Like, the problem owners actually take the time to post specifically what they are facing. Yeah, so I think that helps the startup, you see, because rather than we try to navigate the whole hierarchy, right, and try to figure out what are the problems, right from the start, you already know the problem. So you can focus on, trying to understand why the problem owners actually face a certain problem. Yeah, so that's the main reason why we take part. Like we go inside, it's much easier for a startup from a startup perspective. Successful recipe, I guess there's no like secrets, like there's no secret sauce. Yeah, but there's a certain mentality that we adopt when we take part in the innovation challenges. Yeah, so I think the first thing I want to share is when we take part in this challenge, it's not so much of yourself as a startup, what you're trying to achieve, right? So we go in with the mentality that, we have a lot of empathy. We try to understand what the problem owners are really facing. Yeah, so we don't just understand on the surface layer. For I think the example of Warisan, the grave exhumation one. You see, so basically they try to build a scheduler to schedule all these families trying to visit their graves because they need to exhume it, right? To shift. Yeah, so that was a good example because if we take it only on the surface level, not trying to understand deeper, we probably think that, oh, just build another scheduler software, right? But if you really go in, understand, talk to the problem owner, you realize that, there's a lot of operational flow that they have. There's a problem, right? There's a lot of administrative issues at the back as well. And there's also a certain risk that they have of like losing their data if they don't digitize it correctly. Yeah, and then, it's not just about like dollars and cents, right? So that is important, of course, but it's operational hassle that they have to face and the risk that they face if they don't do this. Yeah, so that it's our mentality when we enter the OIP. We go in trying to understand the whole organization and why do they need this particular solution. Yeah, rather than, oh, it's about me, I'm the AI guy, and then I'm trying to like sell my AI to the world or something. Yeah, so I think that mentality helps us to understand quicker. Yeah, then naturally, once you understand quicker, you try to get what the client is saying, right? With the problem owner, what they are saying, then I would think that there's an increased chance that they will want to work with someone that not only has skills, but has skills and can understand their problem clearly. Yeah, so that's the first thing, to have empathy, think from the client perspective. Yeah. Then secondly, I think it's can you all hear me?
Yes, Leon, you're very clear. Okay. I can hear you just fine now.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. Okay, then secondly, I think it's be willing to modify whatever that you would actually want to bring into the OIP. Yeah, so all the participants, right, will come in with like a particular skill set or a product that has really, maybe pre-made or pre-built. Yeah, so I think we nearly made the mistake of going in like generically because we built all this very technology that's really ready. That's a core competency. Yeah, so we nearly made the mistake of going in and say that, hey, SingX, look, we already have this recommendation engine, it's great, right? We are like more accurate than the others, then blah, 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 how good we are. Yeah, but that doesn't help SingX to really solve their problem, you see. So, but the willingness to be able to modify the solution to fit what SingX wants. Yeah, so at a period of time, they already got certain modules done, certain things that they know they are not so good at. Yeah, and I mean, the good thing is they're willing to share also. So it's us also being willing to modify whatever that it takes, right, to solve the client's problem. Yeah, so the job is only done once the client's problem is solved. The job isn't done when you get awarded the project. Yeah, that's the whole mentality that we adopt, being willing to bend our backs over to solve the client's problem. Yeah. Okay. Then the third point, which leads me to this, is the willingness to think long term with the client. Yeah, so I hope people don't treat OIP as like a just a matchmaking session, like I get matched with a big company, I do one project, and then I earn a bit of money from this, which is then I move on. It can't be like that, right? The whole aim of OIP, in my opinion, is to encourage innovation in the Singapore ecosystem. Yeah, and real innovation needs deeper understanding, needs time. You see, so when we went in with SingX, we weren't discussing just one particular event, right? SingX is a company with many events. So we're thinking, how can we deploy this module, right, on a larger scale? Yeah, so scale matters, right? Or for the Infineon one, are we just trying to solve one particular problem, like this segment, or can that solution be scaled across the organization? Yeah, so when we approach the clients, we try to think of it strategically. We try to think long term, right? Don't focus so much on just we are going to get awarded $50,000. Then I'm very excited about this. No point, right? It doesn't help Singapore also, right? Think of it as, yes, I get $50,000 to cover my cost, right? Maybe it's break even, right? Or maybe you got to overrun a little bit. Yeah. So don't look at this. Look at if I can work together with, let's say, case in this case, right? Yeah, what are the long-term benefits I can bring to them? Yeah, don't just think of the immediate money thing. Think like case, this organization, how can I help them to be better? Right? What are the skill sets I have that is useful? What are the problems do they have that, short term, mid term, and long term? Yeah, then I think OIP will be a beautiful experience for everybody. Yeah. Okay, that's my short sharing, Billy.
Wow, Leon, you have done more than enough to earn a free coffee from me. Next time I must buy you. I'll buy you back in Singapore. I understand right now you're in China?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Which part of China right now?
So, yeah. I'm serving my quarantine order. I've done 14 days out of my 21 days.
Okay. Oh, so another 7 more to go. Okay. Yeah. All right. Dongguan. Okay. Yeah. I have no idea where it is. I'll just go and check the Google Maps later. But basically, I understand that your business is growing because of your exposure through OIP. So that's great. So I do have one question for you, Leon. So when it comes to the actual submissions, right? What gave you guys the X factor in your submissions?
Wow, I think being very structured is important. Yeah, being able to the feedback we get from our clients also, right, is being able to articulate clearly in a structured manner. How does the solution help them? What are the features that we are trying to build, and how does this feature solve that particular problem, and what ROI they can get after that? Yeah, so the more structured the solution, the less cluttered it is, the clearer you can articulate it. I think that really helps to turn the tides. Yeah.
Okay, that's very good sharing there. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are open to a few questions on the floor. If you have any questions for Leon, any other secrets you want him to share, do feel free to put into the Q&A box of Zoom.
Oh, I see from Michelle.
Oh, there's one question, Michelle. That's right, Michelle. Okay, Michelle. Okay, even though you're in the chat box, don't worry, we're gonna give you extra time on this. Okay, so Leon, Michelle is asking, do you have any successful use case that you can share with her, yeah, or with the audience? How your AI has helped clients? Which one would you like to share?
Oh, maybe I share about predictive maintenance one in that case. Yeah, so the good thing about OIP is, you see, we onboarded with Infineon, right? So we were working the first product. It's how do we determine how do we rank the clients internally? So we're helping them to create a client score ranking system, right? But immediately once we have proven that, that there's some signs that you can get closer to that, they immediately open doors for us. Then I think the real strategic one is predictive maintenance, because Infineon manufacturing plant. Yeah, so they got all these machines out there, right? So our AI helps them by predicting when the machine fail. Our AI helps them to reduce downtime, right? Our AI tells them that not just whether a machine is having any alerts, whether it's spot now, but our AI also is able to tell you, when your machine will break down and the cost of breaking down. Yeah, so OIP gave us a start, introduced us to Infineon. One simple problem statement, right, on how do I rank my clients. We actually went deeper into the relationship, trying to understand the problems, the bigger problems at the back. Yeah, so they see our AI as like I would say the operating system layer, right? So your AI they tell us your AI seems very useful. It's not just for one problem, right? It can solve multiple problems across my company. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Leon, and thank you, Michelle, for your very interesting question. So I guess in the interest of time, maybe I'll just like to summarize together with Leon what he has shared over the last 15 minutes or so. So basically, Leon, you had three key points to make today about how to succeed in the OIP in submitting a proposal. So basically, you started with number one, empathy, right? Understand the problem owner's challenges. So that's number one, empathy for what the problem owner is facing, right? So it's not just about dollars and cents. It's also about understanding their operational flow, their admin process, and also the risk that they face in the challenge, right? So number two, what Leon shared, number two, was basically be willing to modify your solution. Don't just shove your solution piece, a whole meal, right, a whole piece to the problem owner. Please make sure that your solution is modified to fit what the problem owner wants, right? So the job is only done when the challenge is solved, right? Not when you're awarded the. Is that right, Leon? The job is done only when the challenge is solved. Okay, so that's the thing. And number three is very important. Yeah. And Leon's third point is very important. You must be willing to think long term, right? So don't just focus on the challenge scope alone, but also on what are the long term possibilities, right, that you can spin off based on the working partnership and the solution they come up with, right? And in terms of how to succeed in your submission, right? I mean, how to write a very good submission. So this is like a 10-year series trick, okay? So basically, be structured and articulate your solution in a clear, structured way so that the problem owner understands how your solution can help them solve their challenge. Did I do all right on that, Leon?
Fantastic, 100% right.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Okay, I don't see any tough questions for you. So I think the audience is very gentle with you today. But I do have one more for you. So basically, for Groundup.AI, right, what has been the biggest learning point from joining OIP?
I think the biggest learning point is that I think from a nation perspective, I'm very bullish on Singapore because of like one of the reasons I think there's a lot of challenges going around, right? Like the usual thinking is, oh, Singapore is just a very we're a kind of rigid country. We're not open to innovations. Actually, there's a lot of effort done in the background. You see, yeah, it should be. Yeah, people should start to see that Singapore is an innovative country also. We attract a lot of good talents. It's not just local. We attract global talents. Yeah, so I think the greatest learning point is Singapore have hope. And regardless whether you're a problem owner or whether you're the one submitting to solve the problem, we should all feel positive that there's a good future for us here. Yeah. Okay,
thank you, Leon. I think one of the greatest joys, right, of running OIP is that we get to see Singapore-based companies like yourself, right, like Groundup.AI, it's a born and bred Singapore company, right? Rising to the challenge and working even with MNCs, right, to solve the challenges. So it's great to see that our our local talents, our local companies are stepping up and then basically pushing everybody up to the next level of innovation. So that's very great. So thank you, Leon. Thank you for dialing in all the way from Dongguan, China. Thank you for sharing your secrets. And I hope I wish you guys future success in OIP and beyond, right? So all the best to you guys in your business. Okay. Thank you, Leon. Ladies and gentlemen,
this has been. Thank you, Billy. Thank you, everybody, for listening.
Leon Lim,
see you guys.
CEO and founder. Bye. Thank you. See you, Leon.